Hi there. Thanks for staying with us here on Prime Morning. It's time for us to get into News Flash. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, Still Folks, Papa Pafi. I'll tell you some more about Franco, but before that, the BECE students are writing exams today. It begins this morning, and as part of wishing them well, the Minister of Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, has sent a message to them. Let's take a look at it.
BECE examinations, I wish you the very best of luck. May your hard work and dedication yield excellent results. I encourage you to concentrate on your studies, prepare and stay calm, and believe in yourself. I wish you all the best as you embark on this milestone. May your efforts be rewarded with success. Good luck to all BECE candidates. I wish you the very best of luck and success.
All right, so we're wishing them the very best as they go to write for the exams this morning. And it's going out to you, Akusia for Kids Paradise. You're writing exams today as well. So a very, very big love from all of us going out to you, Akusia for Kids Paradise. You're writing exams today. And also to you, Nibi, you're also writing exams. And Akusia Tinkrang, you're also writing the exams today. So all of you, we're wishing you the very best of the exams. Go out there, face it, write what you know. You've already learned this. So, put fear aside and come out with flying colors. We're going to be here to support you guys. And yeah. Anyway, we'll be looking at it this week. I'm sure a couple of issues will come up from that exams. And so most definitely we'll be looking at them here on the show. But this morning we're putting attention to the issue of 15% increase in data and also the striking nurses and midwives. We'll be looking at that conversation as well. Who is delaying the payment? What exactly are we supposed to be doing to ensure that people do not lose their lives? Because for the past days, weeks, we've not seen the nurses and midwives in post, and that is affecting a lot of human lives out there. And so we'll be looking at it. The ministry is speaking. The association has also been speaking as well. In fact, the Labour Minister actually believes that they were totally shocked that this, had to get to where it's getting to. And then he believes that the association did not open themselves for conversations to go on before getting to this stage where they are right now. We'll be looking at that also here on the show. Don't forget, you can send your messages ahead of time. Let us know what you think about it. So we say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. So, phones, Papa Pafi, this morning, we're asking you to go in there and buy your phones, your laptops, your Nokia, Samsung. If you want to buy some air conditionings as well, you can go there and buy them. You can also get televisions that we're selling at Franco Trading Enterprise. Now, CCTV cameras, we've got all of that. You can come and buy from us. Now, don't forget, you can download the app. It's the Franco Trading app on Google Play Store. Call us on the numbers you see on your screens and do business with that. Our branches are all open for you to get into it and make a purchase. We've got refrigerators as well in case you need a bigger one, a small one, whichever one you need. Once you get to Franco Trading Enterprise, you'll be sorted. Franco Trading Enterprise says still phones, Papa Pafi. Visit us on our website, www.francotrading.com, and you can get all the updates and all the info you need from there as well. We're going to be getting into the newspapers, the front pages, and then I introduce my guests in the studio, and we'll move on to the substantive issues that we've got for the morning. Now, quickly, we start off with Daily Graphic, and this morning it says, nurses strike, government committed to dialogue. Minister says so, and it's got Minister Kobina Minta-Kanda captured over there, and more data for same price, and that starts from July 1, says Sam George, the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation. And we're looking forward to this. A lot of people are super excited about this, and so we'll talk about it here on the show. Chamber of Licensed Gold Buyers secures EPA fee waiver and explore investment opportunities back home. Diaspora Investment Forum speakers, and that's some of the conversations that came out of that conference. Now, squatters pose a threat to Ghana Lebanon Islamic School, and the timber racketeers invade Abutia Game Reserve. That's also another issue that is popping up. Away from that, let's get into the overseer, and it says that fiscal stability at risk over nurses 2 billion Ghana cedis demand. Government pleads, and Baumia camp in turmoil as key allies break away. Now, Furiata should be blamed for escalating tensions with OSP. Sukaru says so. Your book and research allowances have been captured in this year's budget. Dr. Ato force and assures teacher unions. That's also some story. Page 4 has got a story on that. No excuse. Use mid-year budget review to resolve Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwife Association strike. Minority to government. And yesterday, something dramatic also happened at the floor of Parliament as well, with the Speaker being forced to actually use the marshal to drive away Mr. Honorable Free from the Parliament House when this issue of the nurses came up. Now, we'll see what will come up in a couple of days with regards to that as well. Localized school feeding program appointment, Esikado Ketan MP to government. That's the overseer this morning. Away from that, the economy is here, and it says new fuel levy. Opposition stiffens as stakeholders debate the remnant, and Islamic banking serves interest of all faiths. Professor Gatsi says so. Ghana aims to replace raw gold exports with refined bullion sales. That's the Economic Times this morning. The Ghanaian publisher says oil cartels, OSP, national security go after SML, destroy revenue monitoring systems, and speak for Tokonu Akosua Menu VIP says Akosua Menu to VIP, and minority tells government to change posture towards striking nurses, and Glace sends SOS to IGP, national security over safety of students, and Gold Board will clean up mess in gold trade, says Sami Jemfi. That's the Ghanaian publisher for today. Now, the very last one will be the Accra Times, and it says Parliament engages key stakeholders to ensure corruption-free Ghana, and VIP calls for urgent fight against corruption. Listen to us, minority yells at government, and June 3rd disaster 10 years on as the NATO weeps in Parliament, and NIB is back. A new era begins. NPP MPs to Ghana Police, don't be a stumbling block to democracy. And away from that, Tree for Life initiative, Busa North MCE salutes Mahama. That's also captured by the Accra Times this morning. You can grab a copy and read all about it. Now we're going to get into the main issue, but let me introduce my guest in the studio. I've been joined by Richard Sumah. Richard is the lead member of the Movement for Change, and he's always here on Wednesdays helping us get into the conversations here on the show. Rich, yes, all good?
Yeah, by the grace of God, we are all doing great. We are alive and kicking.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You can have all the money you have and wake up with.
So we are super grateful to God for the gift of life.
Very necessary. But first of all, let me take your view on the BECE. What do you make of that, and maybe your wishes to the students out there who are writing the BECE this morning?
Well, first of all, I would like to say a very good morning to your cherished viewers across the country, and especially to people from the whole central constituency.
Your people.
They've sent me messages that I have to be acknowledging them.
No, it's very necessary.
Whole central constituency and those within the Nodu enclave. We have about 10 communities that come together to form what we call the Novice Development Union, which is trying to do self-help initiatives, because the burdens of government is overwhelming. So now if communities don't come together to at least find innovative ways of addressing some of their basic needs like water, sanitation, market, farm inputs and all this, it's going to be difficult to make progress. So I would like to extend my warm greetings to them this morning. And especially to those who are writing the BECE. You see, wishing them well doesn't really make any difference. You see, I can sit here and wish them all the best in the exams, but it's all about preparation, how they've been able to get themselves this far. But you see, our education system in Ghana is so warped. education in Ghana is WAP. It's about chill and poor, nothing practical, nothing innovative. We have been doing the same thing over and over and over again. We've been writing BECE over and after writing BECE, they move to secondary school, go and do the chill and poor. From there, some end up in universities. They come back without any form of skills. It's just the ability to speak English and looking for a job left, right, front, center. It is the same model. So I don't see anything good coming out of Ghana education until we try to revolutionize our educational system and start to inculcate into these ones basic skills, hand skills, innovative ways of doing things. Let us copy China, how the Chinese model is. Very rigorous way of educating your citizenry. That is the only way you can fill the gap between academia and industry. But we are just producing all manner of people and sitting and wishing them all well. Then they go and write BECE, they end up in secondary school and do the same frivolous education, nothing practical, and end up going to university, go and read the sciences, sociology and all these things and come back looking for jobs. So I want to see a radical, revolutionary change in our education.
You don't see that happening with the NDC?
There is nothing new.
Ministry,
there is nothing new. It is the same old story. There is the same cock and bull story. There is nothing new about our education. At a point in time, didn't they say that even this basic education, they are going to scrap it off? The cutoff point should be secondary school, where from secondary school you write a proper vigorous examination. Then that will enable you to move from there to university. And by then we should be able to inculcate career counseling, coaching, and be able to educate them from the junior high school, the career line that they should pick. Those who want to go into petrochemical engineering, are we setting up petrochemical industries in Ghana? Those who want to go into automobile, what are we doing about automobile industry in Ghana? Those who want to go into the sciences, what are we really doing? They should be...
You think that's the best solution?
That is the best way. In China, that is what they do. From the basic, those who want to go into robotics.
So we should practice
We should practice something. We should not just be learning the negatives. We should learn the positives, okay? If you are going to go into aeronautics, we should have deliberate attempt to educate the youth from the junior high school, counsel them that when you pursue these career lines or when you pursue these courses, this is going to be your end point. When you pursue these courses, this is going to be your endpoint. So at the end of the day, we have industries, petrochemical industry, aeronautics industry, automobile industry.
But there's some private institutions that are actually doing some of these things over here. Pepicaps is doing this, STEM is doing this. We've got them getting into technology.
You say.
Some are building some.
The STEM.
Or you think that it has to
quantify the amount of students that are emerging from the junior high school. Quantify that again, those who are going into the secondary school. Just couple that again, the number of STEM schools we have across the country. Okay? That will let you know that we are a group of people who are really serious that we want to bridge the gap between academia and industry. But we don't have industries. So we are only just training them. You also come and hustle yourself, go and get some job somewhere, hustle your way out, and then you survive. But there's no deliberate attempt that, look, we are developing our petrochemical industry. Therefore, we need petrochemical engineers. We need this, we need that, we need that. So we are grooming you to feed into this industry. We are not deliberately training them down in the area of building and construction and technology. That is the way forward, because the gap between the people's need in terms of housing, infrastructure, and all this is so vast. So how are we training our youth to fill the gap? Okay, so these are the deliberate attempts we should be at least working towards bridging the gaps. The gaps are too many. Until we have a deliberate way of bridging this gap, there is no way, there is no communication between academia and industry in Ghana.
All right. That seems to be one of the issues that, keeps popping up anytime that we have this conversation. And so you can also share your ideas with us, share your thought with us by sending them to our WhatsApp line. Our WhatsApp line is active. We're streaming live on Facebook as well, so you can also join us over there by sharing your thought with us. This morning, we've got a few other things that we'll be looking at. As I said earlier, we're looking at a 15% increase in data. We're going to be looking at the nurses and midwives who are still on strike, and the the association does not want to actually sit on a table for negotiations. They believe that has been done already. Now where we are is implementation or execution, and that's what they want to hear the minister say. And the Ministry of Finance is also saying that if we're not careful and we agree to this, we're going to have a lot of issues. Now we're looking at an excess of over 2 billion Ghana cedis if we want to really do this. But where is that money going to come from? That seems to be the other way around. Well, they are asking retired nurses and midwives to now come and help. The association says that they are not angry about that if any retired nurse or midwife decides that he or she wants to go and do the job. But at the end of the day, they still have an outstanding situation they need to solve. And so if they believe it will be okay for them to go and serve whilst their colleagues are in that situation, that's up to them. We're going to be looking at all of that here on the show, so do send your messages to us. Now, there's something that I said earlier which happened in the floor of Parliament yesterday with the same nurses issue. And Honorable Afriye was actually forced out of the Parliament House because the banter between himself and the First Deputy Speaker of Parliament actually ended up in a way that a lot of people did not expect it to happen that way. Now, take a look at it. When I come back, we'll continue with the conversation here on the show.
Mr. Speaker, I beg leave of you and with your permission.
Honorable Afriye, kindly resume your seat.
Sit up and down. Yeah, I would say, you don't understand what you're talking about, BECE.
Honorable Habib, I intend not to open any debate on this issue. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I think that we can take an adjournment to tomorrow, during which those statements that you have admitted can be made. There's no difference between today and tomorrow, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honorable members. Motion.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion. Yes, I rise to second the motion. In doing so, Mr. Speaker, I make the statement.
Honorable Afriye, if you don't take time, I will send you out of the house.
I'm not worried about that.
Why are you taking liberty for nonsense?
It's an issue of urgent public importance. I can leave.
In doing so, make one statement.
I can leave. I am ready to leave.
What do you mean by in doing so, make one statement?
I am ready to leave. You can take me out. I'm ready to leave. Of immediate and far-ranging concerns to our country. The ongoing national strike action declared by the government.
You are hereby directed to walk Afriye out of the house.
And that's what happened in the floor of Parliament yesterday in the House. A little bit of chaos, if you want to put it that way. But at the end of the day, the minority still had their press conference with the issue. They even addressed this very issue as well. And they believe that they're speaking for the people of Ghana, especially the nurses and midwives, and didn't really, deserve to have gone through that in the hands of the First Deputy Speaker of Parliament. Anyway, let me introduce my next guest in the studio, and then maybe I'll ask of his take on that as well. Mr. Saka Saleh has joined us this morning. He's a communications team member for the NPP. It's been a while, my brother. How
it's been a while. Okay.
All good?
Yeah.
All the opposition?
Well, I mean, we'll say it's all good. I mean, but it's not good. Yeah, but people will say, we should say that it's all good. So it's all good. But the point is that, I mean, looking at what is happening, it's very shameful.
That's not the first time we're seeing something.
I mean, we've seen even worse.
But
I mean, shame is a shame.
That's true.
It's just that we have, good degree of
levels of it.
Yeah,
I agree.
But I think that this is very shameful. In that, on the part of the speaker, I expected him to exhibit some level of equanimity, some level of tolerance, and all that, because he is fast becoming symptomatic of that. I mean, we saw what happened at the vetting committee, where he had banter with almost everybody, and even at a point, the minority had to leave and all that. One would have expected that he would have learned his lessons, or even use that one as an experience platform, in order for him to do this speaker job. But alas, it never came to be. I mean, you see what is happening. Everybody knows that this is an important...
It's not the situation of the minority just doing too much.
No. Especially...
It seemed to be the chronology of the events that happened.
No, I mean, I don't think that...
The minority want to...
That is not the case.
Everybody, including the House of Parliament.
That is not the case. With all this, with all the things that we tagged him off, I think Speaker Bagwe will not do this, because there is nobody that is more qualified in the minority side to speak on this particular issue than Afri.
Oh yeah,
being the ranking member of the health committee in Parliament. Everybody is looking up to him to speak on the issue, and then the speaker says he will not allow him to speak. I think that was an aberration. It's completely out of place. And any minority worth of salt would have exhibited what they did. So when I said it's shameful, it is not on the part of the minority. It's the part of the person sitting on the chair. He hasn't shown leadership. And they think now almost everything should be by force. I mean, should be solved using violence. That should not be the case. I mean, these are honorable men, representing almost the whole of this country, with the exception of Ablekuma North.
Which is yet to be decided.
Yeah, I mean, it was decided long ago. I mean, the people decided long ago.
Well,
you understand? The people decided...
Constitutionally...
No, I mean, the people
have a decision
using the Constitution...
And it's the reason why we're still going
constitutionally, the people decided long ago that
the
MPP candidate won. I mean...
Does it make it right?
No. You see...
Officially, we have not exactly the point.
That one I understand.
Yeah, so if you want to go to that level,
so these are representatives of the people, and they want to, because look, Ghanaians want to hear what is happening. That this government is being so adamant, is being recalcitrant, is not forthcoming with governance issues. I mean, we all know that they are essential service providers. I mean, if you are an essential service provider, it means that your matters has to be heard essentially. It means that your services are so critical that we don't have to labor, we don't have to joke with it. But it's as if this government is just joking. I mean, I remember in 20...
You wrap up for me. We're going to get into... We're going to get into...
Very good. So for me, I think that the speaker he once again goofed by what he did. You don't need any apology from the minority. And especially, I would expect the speaker rather to apologize to the minority for this behavior.
All right, very well. Thank you, Saka. Your quick remark on that one, and then I think that it will dovetail into the health conversation as well. So.
Well, KMJ, sincerely, I don't have much to speak about up to what happened in Parliament.
It is normal for you.
Well, we've been seeing this over again. But like I said, every government in power believes that they have the power to decide what is good for them and what is not good for them. And sometimes they don't want to be given the opportunity to opposition to coerce them into doing what they believe they don't want to fall for it. So in as much as we believe it is the right of the government of the day to pick and choose what they believe is right for them and what they believe is not right for them, we still want to see some level of decorum in Parliament. If someone has the floor to speak and is a ranking member of the health committee and is in the opposition, and he had the mandate to speak or to express his opinion as to what is happening in the health sector, it is his legitimate right. But we should not create the impression to as if we so much love the people and we are fighting for them, therefore we must do anything at all costs to get relevant or to have our voices heard in the public domain. But sincerely, like I said, NPP has their legitimate right to voice their concerns, and the government of the day also has their right to decide what is good for them. But in Parliament, we should see more decorums. We should see more an ambient environment where people are free to speak, not to be heckling each other here and there. So the first deputy speaker should be mindful of the things he does, because he is the leader of the House if the speaker is not there, and he must build cohesion. He must bring everybody on the table. He shouldn't be selective in his discharge of duty. That's all I can say.
All right, very well. Thank you, Rich. Now, let's move on and make some progress. And we're starting off with the data bundle, and then we'll get into the conversation of the health people and what the way forward looks like. And so let's take a look at the communications minister who has been speaking on the issue of data and the increment, and that begins on the 1st of July. This is the communications minister, Honorable Sam George, speaking on the new development.
Ending the resolution of the impasse. At this juncture, I am pleased to announce that my engagement with the CEOs have resulted in the following specific measures, which are to take effect from Tuesday, 1st of July, 2025. Airtel Tigo Ghana, AT Ghana. A 10% increase in all data bundles currently offered by the network. Additionally, the 400 Ghana cedi bundle, which currently offers 195 gigabytes of data, will now offer 236 gigabytes of data. Ghana Telecommunications Company Limited, Telecel. Also, a 10% increase in all data bundles currently offered by the network. Their 400 Ghana cedi bundle, which currently offers 90 gigabytes, will offer 250 gigabytes from 1st of July. Scancom Ghana Limited, MTN. A 15% increase in all data bundles currently offered by the network. And I'm pleased to announce the restoration of the 399 Ghana cedi bundle, which currently has been changed to the 350 cedi bundle that offers 92.88 gig, will henceforth be reinstated to 214 gig for 399 Ghana cedis.
Well, Mr. Sam George, Honorable Sam George over there speaking on the issue, he also acknowledged the financial impact that would have on operators, and he said that I am aware these increases will come at considerate cost to the network operators. However, I am glad that our engagement and consultations are bearing fruit for the Ghanaian people. The minister also expressed gratitude to the telecom CEOs for agreeing on this, the cooperation and signaling improved government industry collaboration. Don't forget that some people complained about this severally over the past years, that some of these changes, came up. And if you go on social media right now, there are people who are still also asking for more. The Oliver Twist are still also saying, "Oh, Minister, you have done well, but we still need some more." But Saka, this should be exciting. Data, we've complained about data in this country. If you go out of this country and you're using data, I'm not sure a lot of complaints will come the way we do complain here. This should be a welcoming news.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, when he was talking about increase, I was a little bit confused. Really, I was thinking is increase in price.
A few other people also had that. If you don't read the full details.
But it's increase in the
data,
the data, and all that. But I saw the whole exercise as very unnecessary. Very, very unnecessary.
The increment.
Yeah, no. I mean, what he came to do there.
He shouldn't have told Ghanaians that.
You listen.
Okay.
The same person told us that he doesn't work with the Airtel. He doesn't work with MTN. He doesn't work with those people. So they decide when and how to do their increases and all that. And that he cannot, as minister, interfere with their, work and all that.
This was after taking over office.
No, he said it. I mean, I think yesterday or so. And he even said that because of that, some people now refer what he
But
said,
the same person did the negotiation for this increment.
What he said, I mean, I'm coming. These things that he is announcing today, I have never seen any minister come to do announcement of data increase or data decrease.
It's wrong.
Wait. So the same person should be prepared when they are increasing our data and Ghanaians are attacking, when they are increasing the cost of the data and Ghanaians are attacking him. He should rest assured that because he created that impression that he can negotiate, he can do A, B, C, D to ameliorate the suffering of Ghanaians. Because let the telecoms themselves, the telecom operators themselves come to do that. It is not in your place to come and tell us how much it costs and all that.
But he did the negotiations.
Oh, what negotiation did he do?
He sat on the table.
So without him,
so he couldn't have come out to say that, okay, I've been able to secure.
No, I mean you could. The best thing he could have just told that.
If the telecoms also decide that they want to come in and do their own press conference.
Listen, what the best thing as a minister you can tell us that you have sat with the telecos, and then they have agreed based on certain factors that they will do something about it, and in due course they will announce the prices
by themselves.
By themselves. You don't come and do MTN job for them. You don't go and stand there and do, because I understand you want to take the glory.
Really?
He wants to take he wants to take the glory.
Interesting.
Yeah, he wants to harvest where he has no sown. Because I don't even see. I mean, if maybe the telecos knew that it will not be in their best interest, I'm not sure they would have reduced the data prices. But I am 100% sure that they did that because they knew that that is the best interest of those companies. So it is not your negotiation that led to that. This point must be made forcefully. That it is not his negotiation, because the telecos will not do something that would
but under the NPP, people complain about data prices. Did they not?
No, I'm not sure it was why.
Nobody complained about. Nobody complained about.
And I'm telling you,
for the last 4 years, Ghanaians have never complained about data.
This thing that is being announced is just cosmetic.
Really?
I'm telling you, these people, they can reduce. They can reduce it without you knowing, and they can increase it without you knowing. They can easily do that. Because look, I mean, sometimes I buy data like 20 Ghana a day. 20 Ghana a day, and sometimes you don't even know what you have done, and everything is gone.
Because maybe it's not enough. It's not the reason why there has been an increment. So what you probably getting for 9 gig, you're not getting it for 200
I'm
gig.
saying that there is a possibility that these telecos can, each your, if that word is appropriate, can eat your data without you knowing.
But that's service. If you're using too many apps on your phone and
sometimes it's not even about the app.
That is not.
They know how to manipulate the system in order to get all those things. I mean, this 15% increase and 10%, it's just cosmetics. They will do what they've been doing all the time. I'm telling you. So the minister should not take the glory and come and tell us as if that is your duty. If it has become your duty, that you will announce. I hope tomorrow the trade minister should also come and tell us the cost of an olonka of sugar, the cost of yam, a tuber of yam, that should go into the market. I hope that all the other ministries, Minister of Agri should come and tell us how much it will cost a farmer to plow an acre of land and all those things. Those are not their work. But you see, these people have carried their propaganda into governance. And that's the problem that we are having in this country. You should govern in such a way that there will be a direct or clear distinction between being opposition and being in governance. But it's like, okay, there is some political point to score here. Let me go and do press conference and then score that one quickly. That's exactly what he did. Me, I don't even see the point of it. It was one of those useless press conferences
Really?
Yeah, I don't see anything about this whole announcement that he has done. As if he works with these telecos. He doesn't work with them. I mean, the telecos you can prompt them just like every other Ghanaians have been doing. I mean,
in your opinion,
you can prompt. We have been petitioning. You know that we have been
conferences. That was your press conference.
Oh, of course, I mean they've been doing this and
they can equally say the minority are also engaging.
No. It's not only about the
are totally unnecessary.
You see, I am saying that this reduction is as a result of the complaint that people,
and not the ministers
on the doorsteps of this. But even yesterday, anytime I get the opportunity to be on air, I complain about this thing. I know people who officially wrote to these telecos. So he's saying that for all those people, I mean, the telecos,
those complaints have been there and still
told them to go to hell. Right? It is only when he met with them.
Those complaints have been there and never saw any results until.
No, but how do you know that? How would you come to that conclusion?
Why
they did not work.
Shouldn't they do that whilst you were in government?
Come to that conclusion.
Because when you were in government, people were complaining.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Are you serious?
No. When MPP was in government, the outcry was not as loud.
The past 8 years, people complain about data, and you never heard about it.
What I'm saying is that when people will complain, no matter what, people will complain. But it was not as loud as it is
in the last 5 months.
Of course.
I see. Interesting. I'll come back to you again, but let me take Rich's comment on that. Rich, you think it was totally unnecessary for the minister to have come out to tell Ghanaians this? The telcos could have done that.
Oh, sincerely speaking, this is not the minister's. These are peripheral issues. These are not issues that the minister should be self-praising himself for as if he has really done anything. Let me tell you, why is internet absolutely free in certain jurisdictions? Internet, the cloud is free. Internet actually, apart from the gadgets in terms of the transmitters and the receivers, okay? And then the spectrum, and then the bandwidth. The bandwidth, you see, when I'm sending a data now, it goes in the forms of data pallets. That is spread across the cloud. And it goes through a bandwidth. And the bandwidth will depend on the size of the data pallets that they can take. But the cloud itself, the internet is all about the cloud. The cloud itself is absolutely free. You don't pay for it. So the technology to transmit the data by using this mask and all the relays and all the transmitters, the receivers. You see, when you see the mask, it comes with relays, transmitters, and receivers. Okay? So these are the ones that are the cost components of data transmitting. Then the spectrum that you pay for, that will give you a communication channel. That this is your spectrum. So this is the medium which you have to transmit your services, be it MTN, Telecel, Tigo, whatever it is, okay? So it is because we have allowed these multinationals and all these foreign companies to be milking it dry. They've always been milking it dry and creating an impression as if data is supposed to be very expensive. Data globally is not expensive. So when you go to certain countries, they don't even turn off their data at all because it's so cheap. And here, don't forget, they will turn around and say that we have given you 10% increase. So that means if I buy a data of, let's say, 5 CDs and I get 500 megabytes, okay? Now, when I buy the same 5 CD, do you know 500 megabytes, 10% of 500 megabytes is how much?
So you're getting around 1 gig plus.
What gig? We are talking about megabytes.
Yeah, but 500 and they're giving you 15% increase on that.
10% is just about 5. It's just about 5. Look, I don't want to.
You're likely getting 1 gig.
No. I'm talking about. Look, in Ghana, many people don't even buy 1 gig data. In Ghana, let us be factual. They don't buy 1 gig, so
is that 23?
So the information the minister is giving us is about the big users, the corporations and all those people. But the people seated in their homes today,
they do megabytes.
They do megabytes. How many people buy a gigabyte of data in a day? Gigabyte that you even buy today, they tell you it's not expiring. By the time you use it for 24 hours, the data is gone. They have been stealing us, we must admit. So they should give us almost like about 50% increment of the bundle. If I buy 500 megabytes at times They say I'm at 10% divided by 100.
It's 15%.
15%. Okay, so we are just talking about just in addition of about some 5 megabyte, 5 megabyte coming in addition. Nothing significant. Nothing significant. Until if they were telling us that the data that we used to buy 500 megabyte for 2 CDs, now we are buying 500 megabyte for 1 CD, I would have taken them seriously. They have done absolutely nothing. It is just to hoodwink us into thinking that the Ministry of Communication has done something significant. They have not done anything. They should go back to the table with them and tell them that the cloud itself is supposed to be free. I don't know how much the telcos are paying to government. Maybe government is also overcharging them, and they're also looking at the low-hanging fruit. And the low-hanging fruit for most of the telcos is the internet. For instance, how many people are on Tigo Airtel subscription? Only a few people. How many Ghanaians use Telecel? Only a few people. So all these ones, they are all leveraging on internet because they know that for whichever way, we like the TikTok, we like the Instagram, we like the Snapchat. So constantly people are consuming data. That is why they are capitalizing on our vulnerability in that space to be milking it dry. So they should go back. They have done absolutely.
You know the restoration of the 399 Ghana cedis. You know how many people are excited about.
Do you know even with that?
A major issue.
Do you know even with that?
When people
399 has been reduced to 350. But don't forget that the 399 was giving about 250 gigabytes.
No.
Oh, check it.
No, it was less than that. It's now that it's giving you the 214 that you are talking about.
So how many? No, per the article that I read.
Yeah.
Per the article,
it was giving you 92.8. Now it's giving you 214.
Is that the way?
That's what it is now.
Yeah, I'm sure you really.
No, but that's what the minister said. It used to be 350, and you're getting 92.88 gig, right? And now you're getting 214 gig.
No, all I'm saying is that
there's difference in
they should have been saying that reduced by this percentage, not increased by this percentage.
But that's the data increment. You need the data increment. The price is 399. It was giving you 92.88.
So the people
now the 399 is giving you 200.
No, say MTN.
How is it so?
Well, I interpret this for me, KNG. Maybe they say MTN 15% increase across all data bundles. Restoration of the 399 bundle offering 214 gigabytes.
Exactly.
Okay, previously charged 350 for 928. So that means now you are paying what? Are you not paying 350 for 214, or you are paying 399 for 214?
So now you're paying 399 for 214 Ghana.
So they have increased it, and they have increased the data bundle.
No. Initially, it is between 399, right? Like over here. So it gives you 92.88 gig, right? And then he says that they are restoring that 399, which will now give you 214 gig.
So, but there is an increment of almost about 49 CDs.
Yes, but it's giving you way before than you were receiving. Look at 92.88 to 214 gig.
And that's why I'm saying that. That is why I'm saying that all this category of users, they are the corporations, they are companies, not even homes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if these people are doing businesses in their offices and they're consuming a lot of data and they're supposed to be paying this.
I agree.
It serves them also.
If they have done any form of adjustment, I agree. All of us want some respite. Okay,
regardless of whichever data you're consuming,
business you are doing, or whichever data you are consuming, you all need some respite.
Yeah.
But again, all I'm trying to say to you this morning is that my knowledge in IT and my understanding about how internet works and how free the cloud itself is, that we don't pay anything to God. At the end of the day, the companies are only...
But you also mentioned that there are other things that are involved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The fiber optics and all of those things.
I agree. Even the fiber optics have been laid by government. Most of them, they only come to do their own interconnectivity works. Okay, most of the fiber works have been done by government. Government has created an enabling environment for them.
By the way.
So what I'm saying is that
creating an enabling
what I'm saying is that they should have negotiated for price reductions. price reduction, that if I pay 3 cedis for 500 megabytes, now they have reduced it to 2 cedis. That would have made a lot of sense to me. But if you are saying to me that I am paying the same 5 cedis for 500 megabytes, but now you are going to negotiate with them and they are doing 10% increment across board, that 10% is very, very insignificant. Very insignificant. Though they might have done something, they would have said to her that we have made a conscious effort to negotiate with them and bring it down. But like I'm saying, if the vast majority of the people don't have the technology acumen, they don't have a deeper understanding of how things are done in that space, they will think you have done something significant.
In your opinion,
but in my opinion, you should have gone for price reduction, not only about 10% increment, and then also to tell them that if you buy data and you tell it that it's on expiry, that means if it is supposed to be 7 days, let me use it until the 7 days elapse. But you use it for 1 day, 2 days. There are some data that is even sitting on your phone. You don't even use it. By the time you say, "Ja," it is gone. They have been stealing us. So the ministry should go back and tell them that the citizens that we owe a fiduciary responsibility to negotiate things on their behalf, that will give us some respite, make life comfortable for us. We are saying that they should rather reduce the prices of the data that we pay. Not only for them to say they are giving a 10% increment across board. It's more like a chicken change.
Okay.
Just let me add a point before we go. Do you remember under Eslowosu, Honorable Eslowosu? She did something very remarkable, but she didn't make noise out of it. For instance, if maybe you've bundled and then the dates expire. And then you buy another one. The date expired, but the bundle is still there. At first, I mean, before Eslowosu's intervention, you lose all your bundle just because maybe the date has expired. But she ensured that we are able to carry it forward. You are able to carry your own expired bundle into the new bundle that you've done.
Which was an excess of what you have bought.
Yes.
And still getting the bundle.
Maybe if you still have 1 gigabyte, on your old...
you don't lose that.
You don't lose that.
Whatever you buy or whatever you get at the end of the day...
It's carried forward.
Yes, but you'd also believe that it was under her...
But she didn't make noise out of it. She didn't do press conference.
Yes, but you also remember that it was under her tenure that a lot of people complained about expensive when they...
No. I don't know how you came to that conclusion.
No, but...
What is the empirical evidence? You will say that a lot of people... more people are now complaining about bundle than before.
You don't use data alone. We know people who have used data in this country. The data is not used by NPP people alone. NDC, CPP, everybody uses data. So if I see people complaining about data and a certain tenure, and I'm making reference to it, it's not about the fact that you have to go and do scientific
your word against mine.
No, I am only making a statement. I'm not against
unlike mine.
It's true.
Yeah.
When you said what you said, I agree.
Yes.
I never disagree. Yes. I said it was also under her tenure that a lot of people believe that.
No, don't say a lot of people. If a lot of people, I'm saying that more people are now complaining than before.
How?
More people. When you say a lot of people, I ask you
how. I was asking you how.
Because you see, mine was more scientific.
Disagree with
mine is more scientific than yours.
How?
Sincerely speaking, over the years,
because I will prove to you because the noise level about data stealing from the telecoms is higher. It's so definite.
This government.
It's so definite now. Everybody is feeling the pinch.
I also have in the house Mr. Sene Donko. He is the Director General for the National Service Authority. He's in charge of operations. Also joining us this morning.
Director General
as well. Deputy Director General.
You have a position like that, Director General.
Why is wrong? We never had that. You never heard of that before. Why are you scared? You never heard that before.
Director General.
Mr.
Yeah, my brother.
Mr. Douglas, it's good to see you again. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Lovely to see you too. I see my brother in the spirit this morning.
I know.
No, but it's just formerly it was the executive director.
Yeah.
When we were a scheme.
Okay.
Now it's been changed to an authority.
Yeah.
So the executive director then becomes the director general.
Okay.
That is just the conversion.
Yeah.
Based on the
same work.
Services Commission.
It's the same portfolio.
Yeah,
the same
thing.
Okay.
That is, so it's
Very
just that now we are more under the Public Services Commission.
Okay.
Rather than formerly how it was.
Because it's an
under
authority
the Ministry
now.
of Education, and it's no more directly under the Ministry of Education anymore. We are now under the Ministry of Youth Development.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is just the little changes.
Awesome.
KMG, I can understand my brother, especially
Richard.
My brother Richard. Yeah, but then there seems to be a little bit of a mix-up. So let's get the things clearly. Saka will, of course, try to do his politics. I can understand they are a bit idle now. They are not getting the scandals to scream about. So,
so many scandals all over the place. Fake doctors all over the place.
It's better than Ken Bond. By this time, there was Ken Bond. We were all struggling with it. So, I can understand that now if you're not careful and you have a misunderstanding with your wife, they will come in and
organize a press conference.
He says you people are doing more than he did actually.
So let's get it clear. Formally, 399 cities got you 240 gigabytes. Is it
14 or 214?
14 gig. That was with MTN. Then I think Telecel was doing 250 gig for I think 400 cities. Then AT and all was doing those how do you call it? But then when e-levy came, they decided to reduce it. So now instead of 399 for 214, you were paying 250 for 92 gig.
92.88 gig. So that was because of...
That is about 100% or more reduction in the gigabytes, though there was a 15% reduction in the price. But you lost about 115 gig.
Okay. Which was reduced to 92.
Do you get it?
Okay.
So what simply the minister has done is that, okay, go back to where it was. So now if there is a 10% price increase with the AT&T and Telecel, they are giving you over 115% data increase. So now, yes, 115% increase.
Not 15%, not 100.
No, it is the price.
That's the price. So the data is what he's talking about. The data that you're likely
the data you gain right now on the 15% increase is 115% increase. So let's not mix the things up.
Do your mathematics well.
Just do it, because from 92 gig, you are now getting 14 gig on 399. From 350 to 399, it's a 15% increase in cash.
But yeah, they increase the cash too.
I'm coming.
As well as the
so that is why I'm explaining to you that the 15% cash increment gives you now 115 data gig. So that is what has been done. I don't know if you are still misunderstanding me. So it's not as if there is a 15% data increase. No. It is a 115% for 15% increment in cash. So now, if you buy 399, you are getting 214 instead of the 92 gig, or instead of maybe 100 gig. If it was 100, then you would have said, oh, that would have been another 15% increase in data. No. The data increment is 115%. That is what you are getting for the 15% increment in your cash. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
So let's not mix the two. And Saka, just admit it. It was your e-levy that brought all this hardship on Ghanaians. You came and you did your e-levy, the telco say, listen, we can't absorb all this things, so we are pushing it over to the consumers. Then they started slapping us with all these things.
No, but don't mislead them.
Who is misleading?
E-levy has nothing to do with data. Please.
When did data start going down? It was upon the implementation of e-levy that we started coming down to 350.
He said data was way better under their tenure.
Yeah, of course.
From 214 to 92 gig, and you're saying it's better?
He said that people didn't complain.
When data was disappearing like ghosts.
I'm saying that even if they complain, they complain.
It was not as loud as we're complaining.
Yeah, as it is now.
That's what
Don't worry, you are the people complaining loudest because now you don't get free data.
So because you get free data now,
we don't get it as well. We don't get it. That is why we are paying for it. You see, no, but let's be very frank. That is the what has happened. Yes, I can understand when Richard says they should do more. Yes, Ghanaians expect them to do more. But then that is why we have NITA, we have NCA, all of them there. NCA's job is to make sure that the telcos don't steal our data. If this was given to us for free and it disappears, like those they give us on holidays, and the 10% increment and the rest. And this one is across board. So it's not only for the large flexi bundles. So what it means is that even if you are buying one CD,
that was Richard's concern.
Even if you are buying one CD, there's an increment in the data that you will get this time around from 1st July. You are not getting what you get now. So check what you get now when you buy one CD.
And what you are likely going to get after 1st of July.
That is it. So it's across board. It's not just for the big bundle buyers. No. It is coming right to the point, those who even do 50 pesos. There will be an increment in data. That is what is going to happen.
So this is something that we're most likely going to be seeing every year, or
for now, like I said, for now,
because people still believe that
they can do more. Yes, they can do more. Now the e-levy is no more on their neck, so they have a lot of space now. So we expect them to even do more. For, like I said, the duty of NCA is to make sure the telcos don't rip us off. Most of them, apart from one or two who are still struggling, most of them have broken even long time, and they are making huge profits. So we expect them to give back. But who monitors, like he's saying, who monitors how our data usage goes? It was just yesterday that one of my chairmen educated me, Chairman Oliver Kevo. He's with NITA. He even educated me that you can even track the usage of your data
on your phone?
Yes. I didn't even know. Do you get it? So I think those are some of the things that we expect the agencies that also regulate the telcos to be doing for us. Because at least Ghanaians should know that if I buy 10 gig or if I buy the 214 gig, I know that it doesn't have an expiry date. So I can use it as much as I want. Even if I leave it 1 year and go and come back, it should still be there. That is what the non-expiry means. But then, how am I able to track that when I started using it, it doesn't fly like Usain Bolt?
That's what it says. They have a way of manipulating that.
But like I said, that is also difficult for them because NCA regulation doesn't allow them to steal.
So why are they doing it then?
No.
The regulation doesn't allow it.
Why is it happening then?
Yeah. Most of times, you see, especially with smartphones, most of the apps you put on, especially some of the phones like the iPhones and the rest, the moment you switch it on, some apps start running and consuming data without even your knowledge. Do you get a point? So it is about how we are able to track. But then,
so during MPP time, the apps were not there.
Oh no, data was just expensive. That was your problem. Because even even the money from your Momo you are using to buy the data, the money you transfer from your bank to your Momo,
they charge you
e-levy on it. So is it not already expensive? Moving money from your own bank account to your Momo wallet, they charge e-levy. Then you now go and buy the data, another e-levy on top over there. So did we go, or somebody say did we come?
Let me get some of the messages from our viewers this morning. This one says, you were read on a Tuesday. It's a Wednesday morning, by the way, as if you're an ambassador for Telecel. I'm not going to go. It said, didn't Ursula insult us when we complained on high data costs in this country?
Oh my goodness, God.
Just before leaving office mid-2025, by 2025, this price had ballooned to around 17 Ghana cedis per gig, about $1.37 nearly matching the daily minimum wage of 19.97. Now, summary says period cost per 1 gig mid-2023 was 6.6 cedis 30 pesos, and that's equivalent to $0.49. And then mid-2025 is 17 Ghana cedis, and that's also equivalent to $1.37. Now, that's roughly a 170% increase in average data cost under the NPP period, mirroring broader challenges like exchange rate volatility, rising telecom taxes, and infrastructure expenses. All right, so that's a breakdown from.
But it's 2025. 2025. It's
not 2023 and 2025. That's the dates he put over there, the years he put over there. This one over here says, good morning, KMJ. This morning, your analysts, Saka and Richard, are being mischievous and don't want to say the truth about the effort made by Honorable Sam George. The minister, since day one he entered office, has been saying he will do all things to get data respite for Ghanaians. And today, he had it, and they are here comparing to other countries. When NPP was in power and Ghanaians are complaining, why didn't they talk to them and compare same with other countries? They should give us a break. All right, let me go to Sumah Boakye. And it says that the first deputy speaker's actions are deemed radical and arrogant. Parliament represents all political parties, not just one. Therefore, when I'm reading it, you're sending more. Therefore, when critical issues arise, the opposition has the right to express their views. It appears the minority is working diligently to counterbalance the majority's recklessness instead of politely addressing concerns. The Minister of Information's claims of reduced data bundles seem unfounded, suggesting a deliberate attempt to increase prices without notice, further highlighting this government's questionable practices. Regards to Thomas Oyeneba Boakye in the UK. Now, let me go down and read some of the messages over there as well. This one says, good morning, Joy Prime. At a time when the cost of living is low and the standard of living is steadily rising, why would the Ghana Registered Nurse Midwives Association still be insensitive rather than understanding to a government that is making everything possible to everyone better in the country? As a matter of strategy, why will any serious union put pressure on a new government rather than a previous government who wanted to win in the elections at all costs? If not politics, what else? Who is advising them? There are unemployed nurses who have been home for the past 3 or 4 years. Can they start engaging them alongside the retired nurses? And UNAS in Ascent South sent in well, they're looking forward to the retired nurses coming to work. So, thanks, KMJ, for exposing the two NPP panelists. They are exhibiting bad faith, especially the Saka guy. Is not doing NPP any good. In fact, he's a bad communicator. And the reason why their party lost, the data was very expensive some few years ago. Jealousy pioneer. They are not even experts in the field. It's funny. And Jerry in Nkoko sent in that. Jerry, Saka is sitting here, he's laughing. He understands. Good morning. Did the NPP man say the minister holding a press conference to announce increase in our bundles unnecessary? Has he forgotten that Baumia made the press to announce the construction of increase in data bundles, appreciation of the city, reduction in prices are some of the things that make our lives easier. But of course, Saka Salia and his micro minority will never know this. Lord TJ in Kumasi. Okay, his name is Saka. Why? And next time when you're sending your message. Now this one says, good morning to you. Despite the backlash from consumers, it is important to understand the rationale behind the 1 Ghana cedi levy on fuel. The levy is meant to provide much needed funds for the energy sector, which is crucial for the country's economic development. By investing in the energy sector, Ghana can improve its energy infrastructure, reduce power outages, and attract more investment in the sector. Aaron Babakoko Komisa in Accra sent in that. Let me go to Mensa Majid. He's from BECE, and he sends a happy birthday message to Honorable Frank Ofosudakwa, the Wokolek Assemblyman for the good people of BECE. And, well, we're going to be doing more of that for you. Esidwa will be coming through to do more of that for you. Good morning, KMJ and your panelists. I'm Big Alasko from Garu, Tempani, and my greetings to all the youth in Tempani constituency. At times, when I listen to some argument on the media, I become annoyed. How can you say increasing data quantum is wrong? These two guys do not understand what the data increment means. Good morning, Joy Prime. Please, the first deputy speaker should respect himself. The parliament is not Granot's farm or nor your family house. And I wonder how he's managing his own family as a leader. No, we the citizens need serious business in parliament. Okay. Good morning, KMJ. Please let Saka know that the NPP will remain in opposition for 60 years because what is saying over there doesn't have any. Okay, can Saka listen to himself? Baumia went and commissioned 2-seater toilets and speed ramps. Those two NPP guys keep quiet over there. NPP refused to listen to the we Ghanaians for the past 8 years. Some of movement for change speakers speak sense, but this guy, no, the way you guys are coming from. And by the way, Richard is not an MPP man. Richard is not an MPP. He's for Movement for Change. So, Alasan says the lawless and Rambo style of the micro minority is becoming one too many. The data battle increment is a welcoming news. And as for the nurses' strike, I will urge the Constitutional Review Committee to take a look at these nurses and doctors' condition of service and add them to the security agency's condition of service and bound them from forming unions and going on strikes after we have used our taxpayers' monies taking care of them in training to become who they are. Good luck to all the BECE candidates. All right, this one over here says, good morning, KMJ. The reputation and the honorability of our parliament has been questioned. Even students' routes has stopped. So why parliamentarians from vetting vandalism to daughter of the murderer comments? And just yesterday, just to see what happened in the House, the speaker should sit up. And that's from someone. As for our Parliament House, for the past years, Teacher Kojo says, if the government is truly committed to finding a solution to the GRNMA strike matter, what prevents it from assuring the striking nurses of a timeline for the implementation of their demands? Whatever happens, the government will have to pay them these allowances one day. Why allow lives to be lost? Their media propaganda to portray the leadership of the nurses as evil will not work. Greetings to Mr. Owusu Bempa, the Inshiasu constituency chairman, hopeful. Now, the next one over here, that is going to be our next conversation, though. Good morning, Joy Prime. Is it true that a meeting was planned at Dr. Baumia's house for what is going on by the Association of some nurses, of which Madame Perpetual Furi was part? She is one of the association leader and a wife of NPP chairman. Baumia, let me tell you that managing the economy of the country wasn't just about nodding the head and laughing unnecessarily. You couldn't turn the corner in 8 years, but it has taken ATO and GM less than 5 months to do that. Why wouldn't you throw dust in the eyes? Why would you throw dust in the eyes of the Ghanaian people? The good people of Ghana don't mind this. All this is the lot of the nation. Moses in Chiraponi sent in that.
These nurses
it's untrue.
I mean, completely false.
Okay. Good morning. I want to seize this opportunity to wish the 2025 BECE candidates the best of luck as they commence the exams today, Wednesday, June 11, 2025. Again, the ongoing strike by the nurses is affecting healthcare delivery, and the minister and the government must act swiftly to resolve the sensitive matter which involves lives. However, it appears Honorable Kobina Minta Akando lacks proactive and effective leadership skills to tackle the matter head-on with a great sense of tact. In summary, the unsavory and demeaning words used on the striking nurses by NDC fanatics have aggravated this sensitive matter. Abdullah Abdul Razak in Tamale sent in. I'll do the last one, and then we'll go on with our conversation. And this one says, good morning, Mr. Host. The Deputy Speaker shouldn't treat the minority caucus MPs as if they were his children. Why that level of quick temper? The Parliament of Ghana should stop embarrassing the country. JEM is sending all that from Salaga. this morning.
Yeah, you can give me just 30 seconds.
We have to move to our next
just 30 seconds.
No,
I'm coming.
Just 30 seconds.
Just, I beg you. 30. I want to do it because some of the comments were actually directed at us. That's why I want to use.
Yeah, but we don't have
only 30 seconds.
No, 30 seconds. My point is that. I am rather trying to play the devil's advocate, trying to let the people understand that we could have gotten more than what we've been given. Nevertheless, we still appreciate the fact that the Honorable Minister is making the conscious effort to engage them for either increasing the volume we get when we buy or whichever way. But I'm still telling the people who are testing and making all these frivolous allegations that we are not against the work of the minister. All I am saying is that data is actually supposed to be much more cheaper than we are paying today. So if he's going back to the table, he should go and let them understand that we want reduction in prices, absolute reduction in the prices, not only an increment in the quantum that we get across board. Nevertheless, we are all for what? Whatever changes that are coming.
Okay. Let's go to the next strike, right? And I'll start off with... I'm tempted to start off with you because you are feeling the heat right now.
No problem.
you are the ones feeling the heat right
KMG,
now.
I think it's a very serious issue. Sincerely speaking, I'm a bit biased about it because I've worked with the Ghana Health Service for more than 7 years before I went into politics. I was a disease control officer. So I was working at the sub-district, which is a health center, like the primary health care area. So I understand what nurses are going through, okay? I think one of the most painful demand that everybody wish we could resolve is the fact that why should a nurse working at a facility, when you get sick, you have to pay for your own treatment?
Treatment, yeah.
It's, unless you have a health insurance cover, you have to pay for it. It's just that at times, some of the medical assistants, the physician assistants, the doctors and pharmacists are, because they are colleagues, they decide to kind of write it off. But otherwise, you pay for your services. And that is something we've all in the health sector have been fighting for, that no, this thing should not happen, because one, it doesn't give you confidence at work, because you can be injured during the work. There's a mark on my hand. I don't know if you can see it. There's a mark on my hand. I was serving at the dispensary. So I was trying to just take off the lid of, I think it was one of the medicines in the, that time we have our antibiotics in the, how do you call it, a rubber bottle. So you have to open the bottle before you count the medication for the patient. I was opening it, it was really, really tough. So out of this, I just took a surgical blade to cut the lid. Then instead of maybe cutting it out, I decided to cut it in, which was... So it cut through, and surgical blade is one of the sharpest objects on earth. So it just cut through the rubber, went straight for my hand, just took off the flesh. So they had to quickly go for stitches. And that is just even me at the dispensary.
So you can imagine the others.
So nurses giving lines, infusion, the needle can prick them at any time. I remember a friend who was a midwife going to deliver, and the person just did it all over her, the blood, everything onto the face. And these are things they go through. So imagine such a person contracts an infection. And one of the most expensive treatments is the antibiotic treatments. So such a person going to now have to pay for her treatment, it's not a joke. And then the 13th month condition, the increase in clothing allowances. You see, there are things that we do by dialogue. If it was easy, Saka and his government would have implemented it long ago. Because now you're talking about almost 96,000 to 120,000 people.
Yeah.
So if you are increasing even the clothing allowance a year that they want, from the current 400, they want it to go like 1,000 cedis. So 120,000 by 1,000 cedis alone, cry. Just imagine that one every year. Then they want a 13-month, how do you call it, salary. But then the trick where I think they have their own misunderstanding is that the 13 months should be borne by the facility. So those in 37, those in Kolebu, Rage, those guys are okay. But what about Isekura Health Center? Where are they going to get that, excuse me to say, the 5,000, 4,000, 3,000 to pay those nurses? And it's not just one nurse. Yes, there are the village facilities. Some of the rural facilities have maybe just one midwife. You can have about 3 nurses or 5 or 6 nurses. Minimum in every health center, you are talking about close to 15 or 10, 12 nurses, including midwives. So imagine that health center, where are they going to get that money to cater for? So
the Deputy Minister for Finance says we're looking at over 2 billion.
That is my point.
The government doesn't have that money now?
No, it wasn't budgeted for. Because when they started their negotiations about 8 years ago, they only had, excuse me to say, a written agreement that the government looked at in May 2024. Then, I think in July, when government decided to sit down with them and try to say, okay, listen, give me some time, let me see what I can do. I think one of their unions says, listen, you are not capturing us well in your demands. So the thing went to court. Unfortunately for us, they were able to resolve their court issues after 7 months. That was in, I think, January. When they finished their court issue in January, they now came back to us and said, listen, this is what we were discussing with the previous government. But, you know, from December to March, that particular budget, it wasn't the NDC government who prepared it. And now the NDC government is also now coming from March with the primary health care issues and all the other budgets. So immediately, if we start addressing this, what do you think will happen to the other unions? And mind you, it is not only nurses that are in the health sector. The biostars are there. My own people, the disease control officers. Many people don't know what the disease control officers do. But do you know that all the contact tracing we had during COVID was done by the disease control officers? They are those who do the surveillance for all the diseases. So they do daily reporting of disease outbreak, weekly reporting, monthly reporting.
How many people have been affected and all that?
That is it. So they are the people who track what is happening to us every week. So before there will be an epidemic or a pandemic breakout, they are the core guys who are able to say, listen, this thing is getting to this number at this particular place.
So in that case, the government won't pay for this money?
No, so my point is that we negotiate. The government didn't say...
They are not ready to...
No, government didn't say...
They want you to execute
No,
it.
that is not how you go about it. This is a government that you didn't start this week.
So if they don't come to terms with you, the government won't pay this.
No, my brother, let's be very frank with ourselves. They have a genuine concern.
Yeah, I understand, and we all understand that.
So this genuine concern also be exercise your right with good faith.
But they are not even looking at that.
That is why I don't understand
the
whole thing.
Secretary is not looking at that because he believes that
even the president who declared the strike is out of the country.
They don't want to do any negotiations.
Even the president who declared the strike is out of the country. How do we dialogue?
Why are we going to dialogue? They've passed dialogue.
No.
They are now at implementation.
You didn't start this negotiation with this government. No, let's be sincere. You didn't start with this government. He doesn't even understand what you were demanding. Your previous government capture it in the budget.
There's a potential review of the demands if we go back to the table.
Yes,
it's not what they're refusing to also understand.
That is what I'm saying.
They don't want any review on those.
Then that is bad faith. That is intransigence. Because if you want this thing really resolved, you go to the table. He who calls for equity must come with clean hands. So you go to the table ready to also concede something. You don't just go and take from government. You give something to government and take something. So, okay, we are making these 6 demands. We know things are not easy. The kind of hole these guys dug for us and we are trying to fill, it's not a joke.
You mean the cathedral?
Well, so at least, okay, Minister, if you cannot do A, B, C, D, at least give us also 1 or 2 that we can also take to our members and say, listen, they have started this, they promised doing this in the next. That is how you do negotiations. But you don't just cut out and say, listen, I have declared a strike. I'm not even coming to sit down with you because I'm not interested in, like, how is that negotiations?
Okay, let me make some progress, and we're going to take a look at what the minister said in some of the statements that he has made, and then I'll come to Saka just to have a background of what we're talking about. So this is the minister, Honorable Akanda.
BECE Limited. As the standoff continues, the political back and government is appealing to retired nurses and midwives to temporary return to service as the strike by Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association enters its 2nd week, crippling public health care delivery nationwide.
Given the urgency of the situation and suffering of the patients, government appeals to public-spirited retired nurses and midwives to volunteer their services for a brief period pending the resolution of the impasse. We further express our deep appreciation to practicing nurses who have opted to remain at post to help suffering patients and urge others to show similar fellow feeling and assist our ailing compatriots, even as efforts are made to address their concerns.
Health Minister Kwabena Mintah Akando says.
All right, so that's a short report on that issue, and just for us to have a background to what we're talking about. Saka.
Yeah, thank you very much. To be honest with you, I think NDC, I just don't understand this political party and their functionaries. They are a bundle of contradiction. Our brother himself sitting here, I mean, he served notice to us that he is supporting the nurses by giving his background and all that, and even wearing a red armband.
I'm sure the minister.
I mean, he told us.
This is not for that. No, that's not for that. No, it's not for it.
No. Look at it.
No, are you also?
No. You told us you are supporting.
No, that's not true. Yes, I said I'm biased about it.
But I'm sure that
and you are wearing red armband.
That is not for religion. It's not.
I'm sure even the minister agrees with them. I mean,
no, the minister didn't agree with them. You let me go. He never agreed with them.
No, but he agreed that he understands.
I mean, it's rhetoric. I understand, and I won't do it. What does that mean? What does that mean? I understand, but I won't do it. Let me. That's the contradictions that we've been talking about. This guy, when he was in opposition, I mean, the minister, he talked as if he knows their plight, and then he was even blaming the MPP government for whatever reason. And today he's talking from both sides of his mouth. He talks today this way and tomorrow he talks the other way. Let me tell you, first of all, I would have suggested that, just like the Attorney General, if you are not a lawyer, you cannot be an Attorney General. If you are not a doctor or a nurse, you should not be a minister for health. Well, he doesn't understand them. He sees them as anything, as any other worker on the street. Really? It is not for nothing that these people have been classified as essential service providers. It means that their service is so essential that you don't have to joke with it. But they are here joking with it.
Oh, no, who is doing it?
Joking with it and telling us. I mean, even when the people, look, factual inaccuracies. When my brother Hussein Donko peddled here, that, they didn't even, there was not agreement. The former government said, okay, I will look at it. No. They came to an agreement, everybody signed. And that was when some other union leaders within their fold said that they will not agree, that you have gone to sign this with government, and they also took the matter to.
So the government signed and they didn't execute it.
No, wait. I mean, no. Listen, the government came to a roadmap with them how to execute the agreement, and that was when some of them took the matter to court. And even after court, they had to go to arbitration. From court, the court directed them to arbitration. And it was at the arbitration that they agreed to settle the matter. By which time, election was already due, and then government could not have done anything at that time, in December.
After 4 years?
No, not 4 years.
They started this thing.
No, not 4 years.
They didn't start.
But I'm telling you, government is a continue.
A whole 4 years.
Listen, government is a continue. And this was signed in 2024. It is not a 4-year matter.
I said they started
please.
in over 4 years.
They started the negotiation. Listen.
It was during the election time
even if they started 20 years ago. Listen, when you were talking, I kept point. Even if they started 20 years ago, but the very moment that they sign an agreement, that agreement should be respected. You are here telling us that you ever, had an injury and all that. It is law. I mean, the workman compensation. That, like you are here, you are working here, you subject yourself to certain risk. If, unfortunately, you happen to be injured and all that, the laws stipulate how you can be compensated and all that, or even how you should guide yourself against those things, like Wellington boots that can be given,
safety gears that
working gears and all those things. And you don't expect the worker himself to provide those things for himself or herself. Now, the NPP government agreed that, yes, you have a point, and then we will see it, we will pay you. If there was no agreement, why would Akando, the minister, be telling them that, we will put the matter to the finance minister so that they'll put it in the budget? Why are they saying that it is not in the budget? It is not in the budget because they intentionally remove it from the budget. The NPP government would have put it in the budget and ensure that these people are paid because their services are so important. Today, as we are speaking, people are dying. And you are here telling us that you were one of them, but now you have moved up and then you don't care anymore about them.
Are you listening at all?
I listen to you. You don't care. You don't care about them anymore. And that explains the reason why you are here justifying some of the fox power that was, being exhibited by Akando, telling us that, they can go to hell. You bring retired nurses and all those things. How many retired nurses can you garner to come and then do the work of essential workers today as we are speaking? I'm also saying,
you have 2 minutes to
no problem. Apart from that, look at the insults that people rain on the nurses. And let me tell you, nurses, doctors are some of the finest or brilliant students that normally we normally produce in our various schools. And it is not because maybe they failed, like my brother Johnny Hughes wanted to say, or was trying to say, that because they failed their exams and all those things, that's the reason why they are doing this. And then the NDC people are hailing that. That yeah, that's our man and all that. Please, these nurses are people we respect so much. They are people. Look, it is not a curse to be a nurse. And it's as if we don't care anymore about this group of people. We can do anything. We can, as politicians, we can do anything. We can pay ourselves. We can pay parliamentarians some humongous amount of money, and we don't care. But when it comes to nurses, the public purse cannot hold it. Let me tell you, when the vice president got sick, where did he go?
In London.
They took her to the UK. It wasn't UK or US?
UK.
They took her to the UK. Do you think if the UK government were treating their nurses the way we are treating our people here, they will be so attractive to the extent that vice president can be flown there? Because we decided that these people are not important to us. That is the NDC government.
So the NPP would have done better than the NDC.
I'm saying the NPP would have done it because we even signed the agreement.
So why didn't you put it in the last budget?
No. That budget is for you.
Oh God.
That budget, the last budget of the MPP was for the new government.
Okay.
So you cannot say that. Why didn't you put it in the last budget? So that we left that space for you. So that when you come
and fill it.
You come and fill it. Because that is the spirit. That's the spirit of the transition. But the last point.
You have 2 minutes.
No, but I have a last point. The last point has to do with the fact that I can understand the NDC what they are doing, because look, if we have these nurses at heart, and even those that are still sitting at home, because there are so many hospitals that the MPP government built. And some of them commission about 3 or 4 Agenda 111 that these people can just ensure that we operationalize this hospital and let nurses go and work, but they are not doing it.
Okay.
And these are some of the things that are compounding the problem of nurses. That you have a nurse who will be sitting, who qualified in every respect, but will be sitting at home. And even those that have qualified and are working for so many years, you call them names that they are dropouts and they don't know anything and all that. You will let them sit down and go and bring their grandmothers.
Let me
just a quick one on this matter. Or you want to do something before
I wanted to take a look at the video quickly, all of us, and then I'll come back to you to do that. All right. So there have been lives lost. Let's take a look at this. I'm sure we'll probably be able to put a human face to this.
Even the intimidation.
My attack. Yeah, he was struggling not a form na opera, but because you people are on strike, you refuse to even take care of him. Even after his wife was demanding, said, she's going to pay every amount. Profession, we are all humans. So a young man at the age of 30 years, he married just 3 years ago. 3 years ago, so this December will be 3 years. He doesn't have a kid. He had an asthma attack. You guys are on strike. Into unfanenko. Yadamase, he's dead. Yadana kwashamoche. Yadamase, we are grateful to you people. See you profession.
All right.
But you should blame the government for the death of them.
I'm sure we will blame the government.
KMJ, most often when we want to have national conversations such as this, let us be very constructive in the conversation. It will be very disingenuous on the part of NPP to suggest that they love the nurses or they love the midwives. They have created that ambient environment. They have taken care of all their needs. They provided everything for them. Over the years, we have never paid attention to the health service providers. In health, we have the infrastructure, we have the machineries, and we have the human resources. The human resources is the most cardinal aspect of the operation. You can choose not to have the infrastructure, but if you have a good trained, well-resourced human resource people, with a little bit of support, they can be able to deliver the basics. Now, why am I saying so? We live in a country where every government has what we call scale of preference. When you are taking over as a new government, you look at the national purse. You look at what has been bequeathed to you, what you have, and what you can do in the immediate time, the long term, and then the future, okay? So now, if NDC comes to power, and they are saying that, yes, we have agreed on the condition of service for the nurses and the midwives. But looking at the current situation, we cannot implement what we have agreed on, but we are moving it into our next budget line. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, there again, we are saying that the nurses, in as much as they have their legitimate right to demand whatever is due them, they should always also look at the human factor and compromise when there is a need for them to do so. Because don't forget that in as much as you are fighting for what is due you, there are others who are also suffering because of your own inability to do what? Deliver on some of the things that you are supposed to do. Why am I saying so? We live in a country where the remuneration of nurses and midwives and doctors, it should be automatic adjustment. It should be automatic. Every year, it should be automatic. if today they are taking this allowance, clothing allowance, 100 cedis every year, there must be a deliberate effort to adjust it. You don't wait for a long period of time, then all of a sudden you see them down, then you agree on a certain terms and condition, immediately you exit government, you expect the next government that takes after you to immediately implement what you have agreed with them. It is never done anywhere. It is never done. And you cannot coerce them into implementing it. You cannot. But then again, the NDC government too will also then have to take a holistic look at the needs of the service providers and see whether with our current situation it falls within our budget line, so that if we put it in our budget line, is to still create a fiscal space for it to do what?
That's what they're trying to do with the negotiations that the nurses.
So that's why I'm saying that the nurses, we are absolutely in support of the fact that you need a better working condition. Okay, just like the politicians are also crying all the time that they should increase their car loans and all these things for them in Parliament, the nurses also have the unfettered right to demand for whatever is due them as service providers. But then again, they should not try to coerce the current government into implementing something that they agreed with the previous government.
Government is good.
Hook, line, and sinker. What the government has also done is to take a holistic look at the situation and see whether they can deliver on it. If they say they cannot deliver on it, like how Honorable Hussein is saying, government can also look at certain aspect of whatever they have agreed on and say, now look, in order for you not to go on the strike, this aspect immediately we can do what? We can cater for it. But this aspect, we are pushing it into our next budget line, okay? That would have made a lot of sense. But if you also tell them straightforward that there is absolutely nothing you can do, therefore,
Richard, the person to come and sit down and say, oh, listen, we can even take it.
Not ready to
the person is
so that is why
it's not one person.
They said they won't come.
No, they had a meeting.
You cannot.
They had a meeting.
We are all supporting.
They had a meeting. The minister was even at the meeting.
They have a legitimate
no, they didn't say that.
increment of their allowances and remuneration. But in as much as they have a legitimate claim, they should also not forget that every government operates within a budget. Okay,
but they decided not to put it in the budget.
No, it is because
it's not like they didn't see it.
No government can just wake up and say that
they didn't wake up.
We decided not to put it in because we are.
It was the agreement was part of the transition document.
No, that was but in as much as the same thing happened when they were exiting power, they brought this a single spine, and then Professor Mills was virtually
the single spine salary structure.
Yeah, the single spine.
It wasn't a trap. Professor Mills deferred it.
Yeah,
they implemented it.
No, he deferred it to the next year.
The implementation was the same way you have agreed on this one, but they are trying to defer
that was not good
the budget. So the long and short of my presentation is that we are appealing to the nurses that in as much as you have your rights, okay, still compromise on that right.
But they compromise. They compromise.
They've not.
They said that because the life of the people
they don't
matter.
care if you don't pay
don't
them.
Don't forget that there are some of these nurses. Let us be very candid. There are some of these nurses who today they say they are on strike. Their attitude towards work is abysmal. It's appalling.
It is not about the attitude matter.
No.
In every organization, you have men's.
The moment you are demanding your
so is that the reason why the police should be intimidating them?
No.
Is that the reason why the police should be arresting them?
They should do their work.
Police is not arresting them.
Prosper Poppy.
Should do their work.
Gentlemen.
The nurses should go back and go and do their work.
Gentlemen, that's
what the police do.
We all agree that there is a problem, but they should go back and do their work for the sake of humanity.
Hold on.
For the sake of humanity.
No, gentlemen, hold on. We're going to have your last take, so hold on. I'm going to try and get some messages from Facebook. I think I'm going to
respect the names.
We respect the names.
No, you don't.
Let's try and get. But let me remind you that Father's Day is coming. Are you not fathers?
No, we are fathers.
This is for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Father's Day is coming, and we're giving opportunities to fathers, who have done so much to be celebrated. And this is what we're putting together. It's called the Father's Day, My Father, My Hero. And this is Father's Day that we are honoring fathers. And so please, all you have to do is to send us a 30-second video. Tell us why your dad dad is the hero. I mean, your dad has done some incredible things for you. You have enjoyed the sacrifices and everything. Send it to us on 055-157-5757. Just share that with us, and your dad could actually win big, and your story might just also be featured on our platforms, and we get to celebrate that father for you. So send the message to us right now, and you could actually win some very good things for your dad. This Friday, we're going to celebrate them big on this show, and so please do well and let your messages come. Now, Big Chef is also ongoing right now. We've got the contestants doing the most, cooking all the delicious food for you, and you want to be a part of that. Every Sunday at 4 p.m., Big Chef comes your way here on Joy Prime. So please do well and check them out, all right? And vote for your favorites. These guys are doing some incredible things. They are teaching me in particular how to cook. And I think I've had a good journey so far. You know, it's not been bad.
Some time ago, I saw you were telling Acid, that you can cook very well.
Yeah, I'm a good cook.
But you are not telling her that children are teaching how to.
The reason why I'm becoming a good
It's improving. It's adding on to his knowledge.
Yeah, they're helping me become a good cook, all right? So, yeah, make sure you tune in on Sunday at 4 p.m. and you would enjoy it. What they are doing over there is incredible, all right? Yeah. And quick one before I go. This one says, it's a happy birthday to you. It's a happy blessed birthday to Detective Chief Inspector Timothy Asamoah Esquire. He's of the Special Investigation Unit of the CID headquarters. And this one is coming from your brother and your neighbor, Mr. Charles. And so please, it's a good one going out to you. Happy birthday, Detective Chief Inspector Timothy Asamoah Esquire of the Special Investigation Unit of the CID headquarters. And it's coming from myself and your brother, Mr. Charles, to you. Gentlemen, that'll be all for this morning.
But you said you give us...
No, if I didn't do that,
no, but did you hear of the harassment?
All right, so...
Did you hear the intimidation and harassment?
Harassment.